Okay, we're looking good. All right. Chat. Need to pop out the chat window. Chat, there it is. Okay, now the chat's back. Oh, right, I have to click on that, then click away, and then move Windows bigger. Okay. Okay. So, now we can just check my channel. Make sure. Okay, and it says it's up. So, we're looking good. Alright. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Ephemeral One. And... okay. I'll be perfectly honest. I just didn't feel like starting with a game tonight. And I felt like I watched something earlier and I said, yeah, I feel like talking about this. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a general chatting stream about sex and other stuff. So, yeah. In particular, today I wanted to start with I'm Your Treasure Box with subtitles. Alright. And that's an English cover. Okay. Okay, we'll just theater mode this. Okay. So first we'll watch the video off on its own. And then we'll start picking it apart. And that's what I felt like doing. So, here we are. Let's just watch through. Sencho Marine, if you're unfamiliar, is a member of the VTuber group Hololive. Generally considered possibly the most what they call yabai or erotic one. And tends to be out there and very blatant, sexually blatant. Very big fan of double entendres, flirting with the other members. Actual sexuality is up there. As far as I'm concerned, the only confirmed sexuality among all the girls of Hololive is Coragiali. There is no universe in which Coragiali is not the biggest lesbian in the entire group. I'm sorry, she is just an ascended fan she's just a lesbian living out her fantasy of having every other one of these girls' contact information. So, without further ado, let's just head right in. This is I'm Your Treasure Box, which I have to admit has some fantastic singing in it. Hey Latheralis, how's it going? Not too bad, myself. It's on YouTube. This does not get censored. This is one of those videos that people always go, I'm amazed this didn't get taken off of YouTube because of the art and the nature of the way and the sensuality that they put on display. I just want to get a bigger video. I just want to get a bigger video so when we go, so I can cut between the bigger scenes. Okay. So, one thing that struck me about when I was watching this earlier today was one of those things of, this feels more about a personal sense of, like, I got a lot of people going, well, this is so erotic and so, blatantly sexual, has such blatant sexuality. It's really off-putting, and I'm just sitting there going, is it? Because to me, it just screams of, this song is a story of someone being extraordinarily frustrated by the sexual reservations other people around them have. And I'm just curious to see how it pans out by putting it to words, and plus, like I said, at the very least, I didn't feel like starting today with playing games, so, yeah, we'll start with this. So, going back to the beginning, the first things we're told with the song is a seductive box buried beneath, giving off that sweet scent of danger. Hey, local Jupiter. And, we can see the box. We get to see the box mentioned. It's surrounded by these faded... Note that the flowers are all of a faded color. You can barely make them out in the background. And the only... Obviously, because red is the color of the singer, Sencho, Maureen, that's very significant. And we can see there are 5 assorted gems on the top with a single one towards the middle. with a heart, of course, shaped, heart-shaped keyhole etching. The Marine is not subtle in the slightest about what this all means to her. This is all very obviously meant to. It's all meant to point to how Maureen views herself. It is the biggest thing I can take away from this song myself. One of the interesting things here is, again, because the color red is very significant and we don't see much of it around, the other flowers, in other words, the other flowers around her, the other people she sees, they come off as kind of reservedly flat versus the very vibrant red we see on the chest that, by the title of the song, I'm your treasure box. Maureen is saying, this is me compared to everyone around you. And it's just kind of interesting that all people draw from this is kind of... And here we see... Then we first get introduced to Maureen herself, who she feels herself change. Like, look at beyond the sexuality of it. Note that she's curled up in the box, surrounded by roses, in sort of a curled up position, fetal position. She feels underdeveloped and, crushed down into the box she has to present herself as. And the first thing she does when she to entice the person to open said box is that the first thing she thinks of is, okay, when this is opened, when someone finally comes for me, when I finally have someone, what do I say? Yeah, what should I say when this casket is opened? Was what you're looking for me? Or, oh, you guys can't be so greedy. This is all just dirty jokes that she's imagining when someone finally takes hold of her, can say. What this also speaks to is the sense of no one's opened the box, no one's come for her, so she's kind of left with just her imagination. You found a treasure that's better than treasure, isn't that great? Like, again, these are all flirting lines that she's desperate to use because she's stuck inside that box, and we see that she's now going from the rags that she was originally curled up in to the very vibrant telltale red outfit that highlights, a lot of her physical attributes. Again, to draw a comparison to this kind of over-the-top flirting thing, if you ever saw the third of the original Spider-Man movies, where he gets the black suit, and there's this entire sequence where Peter Parker thinks he's the coolest person in the world. He starts wearing this whole black outfit, he does, even unironically, does finger guns at a girl once trying to be the coolest person. And a lot of people go, oh God, that was so cringe-inducing and so painful. And I'm like, that's the point. That's the same thing with Maureen here. The over-sexualization is the overdeveloped imagination of this is what sexy is for someone who, at least playing up the character of Maureen, doesn't really know. They're they're hypersexualizing to a point that it so becomes comical, and it's one of those things of, I'm not going to comment on the actual person, the person behind Maureen. Who knows? That's their life. That's not the point. The character of Maureen, typically speaking, from what I take away from from fans of her, is that she's kind of the failed, you know, we can see from this entire sequence that she has the physical aspects and attributes to be sexually provocative to everyone. And yeah. And we can see that, she does have a very, well developed female form, allowing her to evoke sexual thoughts, but it's over the top to the point where it almost becomes more comical than actual tantalizing. Yeah. Again, she's just describing herself. Yeah. And the best thing she can describe herself as is having this scent of absolute sexuality of, I'm absolutely irresistible. And obviously a lot of people, looking at this kind of image, yeah, they did a fantastic job of including, there's a feast for the eyes for whatever you're into. I have to give them applause though. That tight of a stomach is an impressive always piece of art. And there where she makes the face of, frustration or, intimately touched. Yeah. And she starts breaking the built up character so far of being the seductress to start giggling. She can't resist she even finds it so funny, because she's trying to laugh off how awkward her own development is. It's actually kind of interesting. And here we have this the bondage scene of just showing herself off. Again. Yeah. And where you would think that this entire neon glow scene was meant to tantalize without actually showing, she then just cuts straight to the color version and shows off everything. Again, highlighting the whole point of what is supposed to be a case of a good thing for sexuality is typically you don't have to go into it. You don't have to go into depth, or you don't have to show everything to get people to give the idea. A prime example is, there was an anime I remember watching called Super Cub. And in it, there is a sequence where two girls basically go out riding together. It's about bikes and these little motorcycles that people ride around. And they rode out and they got caught in a storm, so they went over to the one girl's house. And I will remember with my ex, as the one girl comes out of the bathroom, she just blurts out, "They fucked." And I just started dying laughing because it was just point blank. It could have been a completely innocent scene of them basically taking a bath, because they got wet on during being caught in the rain. No, she's like, no, no, no. Based on the way they're talking, they fucked. And I'm just sitting there laughing. And it's that same kind of thing where it could be something simple, but here we can see that you're playing up to good sexuality typically doesn't tell you everything. It lets context dictate. In here, though, we are greeted with so much of Maureen's personal taste of sexuality, what she loves to at least see in herself as sexual. If that makes sense. It's like, it's how I feel attractive, so to speak. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why the lyrics even go, don't you want to capture me? Don't you want me? Can we just also appreciate the animation for this next section? That's the most smooth animation. And this is part of where we can see the whole, I mean, this entire sequence. We're not going to get demonetized, so I'm not worried about it. Or if we are, oh well. As you can see here, she's pulling on this door. Of course, she makes it look like she's riding someone sexually, but instead she's trying desperately to pull on it to open up. And it isn't until she loses her grip and falls off. By the way, the chorus is basically, ahoy, hey there, bad boy, in a very English, Japanese English way. I mean, gently insert the key into the treasure. We already talked about the opening treasure box's unsubtle symbolism. This is a really good song, though. Just saying. Alright. Now, here's the interesting thing, is we're back to Maureen dressed as, you know, the meager self. So this is the self that she views herself in the treasure box as. So this is where we have her at her, I guess I would say the most naked, the most simple. This is her inner self, so to speak. And it's showing that, you know, she's still, and she feels tied up and chained up and limited by what but she's limited in feeling and being bound up by what's probably like societal expectations that leave her forced to play a particular role of submissive, and, you know, she has to wait for someone to open the treasure box. She can entice, she can give reasons for it, but she cannot compel it. Yeah, absolutely. This is where we can see that she feels she can't compel someone to open the box. She has to tease, taunt, flirt, but at the end of the day, she does not have the power to open it. That's mostly what she feels like. Or at least that's the expression I get across from this, actually. And here we can see, like, her own hands reaching down. And she crosses them to, you know, show us the other self the face she's putting on for others. Again, because this is the that's the Maureen that is we see doing the dance and with the bright red outfit. And again, this is her feeling more true to herself, more vulnerable. Again, she's stuck in the box still and still can't get out. And she's just in this very pleading, please, just let me out. And now we're back into the fantasy, much like the early part where she's thinking of the early part of the video back where she's thinking of how do I greet you when you finally do take me? What should I say? What should I do to make this perfect? And here we get her blank vision of the future where she can go out as the captain in the bright red outfit to explore, to see what she couldn't see before being trapped in the societal expectations of herself. Yeah, your impatient hands, the T's of sweet sighs spelling off of the C chart. Yeah, these are all, again, very much. Though the line that interests me here is this next one. Before the bright red rose withers and fades. Obviously being a reference to herself that she wants someone special, someone to open the box before she feels like she's faded away, before she's lost all the real value of herself. And she's like, before I go, I just want someone to love me. Or at least that's the way it comes off to me. Yeah. And again, summer sun, smiling with glee. These are all just wishes of, I'll be with someone in the summer sun. We'll go out and sail the seven seas. We'll be happy. And here we have a kind of interesting dichotomy because, again, the idea is you have the captive version of herself being out there in under the night sky by herself, where this is the truer self, the internal self that is at least stuck in the box. And again, she's just making another enticing pun just to mess with you, across 5 lakes and 4 seas, which is supposed to sound kind of like saying crotch in advance in Japanese. The shining ocean. And even calls it out herself. What were you imagining with the word crotch? I love this transition towards, again, back to her actual self. Dealing with people, living her life day to day as she walks, she still has the shackles on her, limiting what she can do. Now, this beautiful art here, I had to stop and applaud this. The people who did the MV did a fantastic job. Any kind of seemingly bad artwork is done entirely for on purpose. And that's the sign of a truly skilled artist, is when you can go, yeah, the chibi stuff was kind of weird and sudden, but it was there. And note that the first line we see when we see this beautiful depiction of the inner Maureen, now please grant my dearest dream. So this is her being painfully honest, is grant my greatest dream. Which is what? And And we get this whole black and white with the coloring of her eyes. God, I love the way this art is done. And then we get this image. It's a woman holding a cage, and it's a statue of a woman holding the cage. So likely a mother or authoritative figure, female authoritative figure, who has by and large kept Maureen from being able to pursue and act as she would have liked. And we can see that again, there's the faintest red color in it. And it's a key. It's the key to the treasure box. It's what she dreams of. It's what she wants. It's the idea of, I would open up this box, open it, or I will scream. I want out. I want out of all this. The rules, the reasoning, the flat colors around me. I just want to be. And as she reaches for it, desperately trying to hope for a Virgin Mary or any kind of authoritative female figure would stand. I mean, the Virgin Mary is the obvious suggestive considering what comes up next. And again, she gains color, but then so does... But then as she gains color to begin to act on her own desires, there's the version of herself that we only see once and here, which is probably, I mean, she's dressed as a nun, so it's probably the voice of, you can't do that. No. Everyone, it's not expected, and women shouldn't do that. Now, what could be taken as, there are two ways to look at what happens next in this. It is either one, the realization that every piece of her desires to cut loose, or the true admonishment and this basically, is this slap a true admonishment or an encouragement of realizing all of us want this, or is this an admonishment that just pushes her over the edge? It can be taken either way, and it's one of those interesting little bits to think about. Because, yeah, she slaps, yep. She slaps her, whether that is an admonishment of, you shouldn't be acting like this, or a pure, go for it. It's hard to say, because then what comes next... Though note, we also hear the banging of a hand against the box here. So she's not gone completely. Yeah. In other words, I need someone, please. Yeah. And then we get this character, this version of Maureen, we only see like once or twice, which is basically herself unleashed, the feral beast within. It is a subjective thing. I'm not going to argue that, local Jupiter. It's just one of those... It's maybe just something she heard or something she was told by maybe a parent or a, female figure who said, no, you shouldn't be this way. But this is the feral needs that speak up, the little dark voice inside. And this is it cutting loose from that. And now we get to see a view of what that feral thing actually would take, and that is here. a naughty bewitching beam enough to silence you lot of crying children. In other words, I want to be as sensual, sexual as I want to be. That would even make crying children go, okay. And here we get to see, yep, Marin bearing all more. And we get to see the way, you know, showing herself off, still trapped, and still just that feeling of how she wants to be seen. Until she finally is breaking free, showing off, you know, her full self. Again, this feral need of, I want, yeah. And here we see the rotting away of the statue, the authoritative female figure, basically where she's going, it doesn't matter anymore. I want what I want, and I'm going to pursue it. And again, even the line, you guys can't hold back anymore, right? So she can unleash what she wants. You're gonna own the pleasure, maybe love of me. Yeah, literally the line is as the last authoritative figure is rotted away, and she's left with saying, you can have your way with me, as I'm going to have my way with you. Yep. Yeah. And then we get this whole sequence of her breaking free, smashing through the cage, representing her just letting it all out. And we're back to the dancing that she believes again is supposed to be enticing to make... Yeah, I can agree with that, Local Jupiter. Definitely a feel of someone pushing against the expectations and the views on what a person should be. And, like she says, gold and silver is only worth so much to someone. And the real value I place on things... It's getting all wrinkled, which would be herself feeling, you know, worried about the idea of getting old about this. Yeah. See, that's the interest. The line is, it's getting all wrinkled. In other words, she's like, she sees a wrinkle or, you know, a line on her skin that's just making her worried that she's starting to feel and look older. And it's making her more insecure about what she's going through. And it's the feeling of, oh, am I out of time? Yeah, and here we go. She literally saying, you guys are being too reserved. Come for me, please. And the fact that she switches to images we saw earlier, pretty much. But now they're being, you know, censored as she's being more openly erotic about the way what she's looking for. Like the hard eyes are even drawn on it and it's blurred, but it's obviously her. Like, we saw these images towards the beginning of these, and they were, yeah. What do you think? Yep. Note that these are just modified versions of the original art we saw at the beginning. Again, basically, again, We've passed the point where she's unleashed herself. And this is her showing off, going, look at me, look at me. This is what I want is your attention. And notice the act. Now, I'm going to pull up the bigger video because it's kind of interesting. The actual animation of the motion that she's doing in this next scene, this next part. It's hard to make out because it's blurring and moving, but she's holding the hands and she's kind of... Yeah, it's hard to get... Yeah, it's hard to get the exact... There. She's going from two different motions. She's going from making the heart to this like flirty motion face with her hands to her. And she's going back and forth between the two, desperately going just back and forth on what the motions are is, you know, love me, love me. And then this is mostly just her showing off, you know, where she wants the attention to. Yeah. She after saying, literally, you are being too reserved, so be open and honest about this. And then at the very end, we reverse to reassert that again, she's not out yet. What we've seen is little more than a fantasy of what she truly wants. Yeah. So rather than being worried about what to say anymore, she's now truly just frustrated and desperate to have yeah. Marine decided to fully indulge in herself and what she wants to do, what she believes to be sexy, sexual, attractive, lustfully, to have someone to enact those thoughts. Yeah. Exactly. This is more about her cutting free of what she's seen and what was expected of others, she believed expected, to cut to what she wanted to do. Again, this barely clothed version is the truest Marine, is the poorest one. The red outfit is nothing more than just a fantasy for her. And that's what the VTuber character is for the person behind it. It is a character she gets to play and a fantasy she gets to play out and let out all the things that were built up inside her. And here we see the treasure chest is now, towards the end, covered in more red roses. Some of the roses have now become red, and there are more chains on it because she feels that the more time she's spent and the more honest she's been, it's not been successful yet. It's not succeeded in letting her be out completely. If anything, it's trapped her in a more difficult situation because she now has the lustful side she's allowed to show and the role she's allowed to play, but that's only chained her to those expectations of, oh, that's what she's trying to do. is she's playing this lustful character, so obviously she must be like this in real life, and maybe she's not. Maybe she's more reserved and tends to just enjoy playing the role. It's we can't know, and honestly, I wouldn't want to know. I would just want her to find happiness in playing out this role. Still, it was something that struck me earlier, and it was something kind of interesting to look at, I guess is the best way to put it. And it was just kind of funny to me that a lot of people I saw just kind of took it as face value of, you know, this is what she wanted, and it's just, oh wow, this was really sexually explicit. And it's like, not really. A lot of the supposed sexuality of it is more just about frustration and breaking free of the rules and roles. The problem is, I think this is also a speak of frustration. Last scene is a speak towards the frustration of, well, now I'm just known as the slutty, sexy one, and there are reasons for that. I mean, if we go back and live shuffle, there's a very good reason for that. I won't show this whole thing. For those unfamiliar, Hololive usually once a year allows the characters to basically swap outfits with each other, and then they'll cover each other's songs. As far as I'm aware, none of the girls actually know who's covering whose song and who's covering, who's swapping with who, and who's doing whose song. This past year, Marin did one with Ina. And let's see if I can find it. Yeah. Where Marin, again, normally shows up in her usual outfit, and then they get to swap to who they get. And she swapped with another Hololive girl named Ina, who is genuinely her character model is much flatter in the chest, so, and nowhere near as physically developed, or at least as developed as Marin, making her wearing the outfit, sexually suggestive. And then there's what she does with it, where Marin got away with this, and apparently the actual Hololive channel got dinged for this. Of course. Yeah. That was as far as they would allow her to go, but the tentacle scene was enough to at least get them a ding of, you might have gone a little too far with that. And that's an interpretation indeed. That's actually a fairly apt one too. She kind of she dug a hole and she's kind of stuck herself into the idea of being the slutty one. It's interesting, and it's one of those things of, it's unfortunate, but it is a possible result. I was going to say, the other thing that comes to mind, but of course, like I said, there is worse. In Hololive, Karaji Ali Where was it? What was it? Rachel Ali. I'm trying to think. What was it called? Kiara. Yeah, here it is. Kiara's gun. I'm gay. Ollie's reaction to someone.
It's Kiara's invite! The cook's here! Let's fucking go! Oh shoot. Yo, that womb is going everywhere. She is leaving no crumbs. Guys, this is what real sexy is all about. I saw the tweets before I saw the performance. The fact that she keeps on pointing there. She's serving it on a silver platter. Is this her original song? I'm gay. I like women. Oh gosh. Kiara Senpai's lives rent free in my head. Oh, she's such a slut. I'm in love with her. Let's go! I love my whore Oshi.
Yeah. I refuse to believe like I said at the very beginning, the actual sexuality of any of the members on any VTuber is up to their own selves and whatever makes them happy. That being said, Courageali, there is no universe where Courageali is not the biggest lesbian in the world. She is absolutely... She is a fan who managed to sneak into Hololive and has been living the dream ever since. Like, she is just one of those people. Though, another one, actually, because the other one I was thinking of earlier. Now, sexuality is not limited, of course, to this. One I found recently, was another animation meme somebody did. Because I was sitting there thinking about it, and this was another one that came up where I just sat there and went, huh, alright, well, an animation meme. So these are usually a good source of interesting videos that people do to various songs. And, yeah. And it's always interesting to see what people do with their personal OCs. I'll let this play through once before we start picking apart what's provocative of it and what I find interesting. So, I'll let this play out first. as you can see, they love to mess with people. And that's one of those things I always find hilarious. Is the idea of this kind of seems sensual, and then they do something to alter the physicality of it, and it kind of throws you off and going, huh. But okay, let's go through again. There's always something very the classic temptress thing of covering just the lips, leaving the eyes and face. And with this image in particular, it's easy to overlook the fact that their lesser wings here on the sides are actual additional eyes, and it's easier to focus on their face naturally because of the vibrant colors and the fan that draws your attention to the lips, as well as maybe the sharp tattoo. But the eye wings are there the entire time. It's just not as noticeable while it's playing, which is something I appreciate. Then we cut to a close-in of their face, and we're not given any more context to that. So then the screen goes left, and we're left with this, mash of eyes, kind of the awkward, what's going on? And then we're shown this figure, nudity, of course, being the very bare, very, some people may take it as erotic. Any nudity is erotic. That is to a lot of people. I don't buy that myself. What I find interesting, though, is, again, the eye wings being very prominent, but still easily missed with how the way the lighting is done. There's also the two long tendrils that look just like hair running out. That probably are looping back around with the extra parts. It's easy to not realize that they're sitting, basically what they're sitting on is their own tail, effectively. And it's easy to miss with the way how quick this image is inconstant. And the colors change. Then we move to more of a side profile where they're teasingly tipping again, your attention's brought to what they're holding, which is like this smokestack, or perhaps even, their chest being out and the suggestiveness of their pose, while looking at you over the shoulder, and it's just an interesting pose, and again, shows off. Yeah, and you call it, yeah, I'm your fantasy, yeah. It's very prominent of, this is what you want, isn't it? I'm holding off for you. Then we get another close-up of their face, a playful, sticking out of the tongue and lips. Again, a closer vision of the tattoos that's, are very highlighted against the darker colors. And again, each of these scenes, the body is posed in a very, usually sensual image of their chest out and their hips are pushed back. And they're giving a, low look. They're still looking at you, but looking up, as if they're trying to decide whether or not to agree with you. And here they're laying on their side. Again, all these are classic model poses of sensuality. Then they're playing. The focus is then on their hands being on holding themselves, covering themselves tauntingly. Though always with that playful smile to tease, to entice. And that's where we start getting various quick flashes of things that may start to set off the warning lights of, maybe something's not right here. Again, they're down on all fours, a classic, sensual pose. But we can see there they have claws now. And though their hips are up, their eyes are closed, seemingly closed but open at the same time. And now we get to where hands are grabbing at them desperately, but they don't seem to be pushing them away. And you also noticed, you might have noticed, like the eye on the palm there. Yeah, the more the hands are gripping out, talking about how this is a temptress that has so many desiring them and reaching out desperately just for even a grasp of them. And a powerful image here where they're floating above the hands. They don't need them. And we get to see the tail and the full explanation of, yes, that was just their own tail, while still revealing that they have the shapely hips and the overall still very feminine form. But their hands are, the left hand is pushing the lower hands down almost, while they reach up towards something else of, oh, I've got more than you can handle. Then it slowly turns around to look back, and then we're snapped right back to the first character to clearly convey that they are the same person. Yep. And here we see them repeatedly turning back over, switching from different poses, different times. Again, all conveying, I'm there, I'm the same person. And here we have the very, very curious and the kind of almost cat-like playfulness and teasing of, yeah, they lean in and it's like, I'm very much interested. What are you doing exactly? Having fun. Then we get the treats, highlighting the very feminine form, while also including food to give a sense of scale, as well as, tempting of, well, don't you want some of this? Referring to both the fruit and the flesh. Again, mixing in sweets and noting the types of the way the hair moves. And getting these very, intimate, playful moments of, the affection one would want with a lover or someone they trust. And the blushing, the very sensitive, the intimacy is what really they're trying to convey. The interesting bit here is the other hand. It doesn't belong to her, but it's got claws as well with the blue nails. Holding a flower. And then just, again, being very simple, quick, playful images. Very teasingly, very enticing, I want to use the best word I can think of. And here we start to see, covered in kiss marks. But now what's interesting is their eyes are starting to be open. We saw that they were present in the previous part with the white creature, but now the eyes are starting to be more open, showing that they're revealing that they're more than what they're simply enticing you with. And there we see that's a key line. Wishing you'd pull back the curtain, they'd say, as the eyes are now open with you. That is a point where So, in other words, we're starting to see more of the truth of what they are. And offering now the hands offering a fruit. Typically, the interesting thing was earlier that the fruit was an apple, famously in Bibles in the biblical story of Adam and Eve. An apple is the fruit of knowledge. This is obviously a altered apple, but probably the symbol of the fruit of knowledge, the understanding what we are being enticed by. And see, now that we're past the veil, so to speak, they reveal there's a third eye, and a third and fourth eyes in addition to the eye wings. And the eyes start to open, revealing multiple. There's this sensual look to it, and the wings are there now, and we're seeing that the wings are in fact part of the whole of being. And now this being a expression of your mind pushing beyond what you've seen before, what you couldn't notice. Again, the eye wings, the lips. What enticed us before with like the lips, the playfulness, we'll now start to see past, and we'll start to see, the eye. We saw the eyes and the mouth once, but now we're seeing that is a constant thing, and that what we've been told is nowhere near. And get to see more of the true of the being, and see that it's pushing beyond what we would normally be able to accept. Oh, but after you have done that, things calm down and we're pulled back to the safety of, okay, this is what you knew before, you're good. Except, we now fully express that these two beings, the white and the pink one, are the very same person. The face just shifts. And they get to look at us using this form. And here we see that the pink form is being manipulated, controlled. The strings of their heart are completely utterly controlled by the white one. The other thing that you should note, though, the strings don't connect to the white one. The strings, I imagine these are the equivalent of the red strings of fate, so to speak, that are said to connect lovers. Specifically, usually it was their pinkies would be tied by an invisible red thread that would connect them and could only be broken and could only be cut to sever their ties so that they may never meet. In this case, the threads don't connect to the white being, but note that she has full control and access to them. And that the pink one is, by holding her hand over her eyes, holds her completely and wholly under her control and is likely ignorant of her. And yeah, she shows us her true face once again. And now we're pulled back to, the pink one's showing us, well, this is just the way I am. It's just, yeah. Because now that we've seen what she is, do you still want to be with her? Because she has this is your mind playing back everything, and as you watch her walk and sort of jostle side to side. And here she's just hugging the toy and bouncing back and forth. Note that her eye wings are now closed again, but they are starting to open. Yeah, they start off closed and they're starting to open again, because now that you know, you can never go back to ignoring it. She is not what she appears to be. So the question is, do you still want? But yeah, kind of an interesting little take on things. It was just one that I thought of where it's like, it's interesting to play on sexuality while still enticing you with a horror. And I really did enjoy that. And that was just one of those animations I absolutely had to applaud and share with people. Because at the end of the day, I enjoy talking about this stuff. And I hope you all do too. Let's see. Well, if I'm going to share stuff I enjoy, let's go with Chainsaw Man fan animation. This one is absolutely fantastic. I will say, anyone who has, if you've never watched it, Chainsaw Man is a wild ride. So, show that off. Yep, contains sudden flashes, sudden movements, fresh material, and loud swords. Yep. Not recommended for impressionable people and people with epilepsy. We care about your health. So, if you're one of those groups, please do step away. Chainsaw Man is not for the faint of heart and is very, very much a very deep and surprisingly well developed and nuanced story, but it is very violent. Very, very violent. So, just be aware of that going in. If you're alright, here we go.
We all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. Oh, 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 oh. So many shades of gray. Oh, 어떻게 아직도 모를 수 있어? Oh, good easily fades away. 아무도 나를 좋아하지 마, because I'm a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해? 아주 못돼 먹은 작은 악마 같은 나인걸 몰라. You're a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해? 미처 몰랐던 악마가 아니야. 내 숨쉬고 있어. I'm killing someone. Maybe you're killing someone. Maybe I'm killing you. Maybe you're killing me. Maybe. Am I good? Am I bad? Ay. Are you good? Are you bad? Ay. 내가 제일 사랑하는 누군가는 또 다른 누군가에게는 예세. Are we good? Are we bad? Ay. What is good? What is bad? Ay. 네가 제일 미워하는 누군가는 사랑받는 누군가의 자식. I'm a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해? 아주 못돼 먹은 작은 악마 같은 나인걸 몰라. You're a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해? 미처 몰랐던 악마가 아니야. 내 숨쉬고 있어.
Black Widow is easily recognized by her coal black body and red hourglass marking. She encases her victims with silk and then kills with poison.
I'm killing someone. Maybe you're killing someone. Maybe I'm killing you. Maybe you're killing me. Maybe we all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. But what if we're the villains on the other? We all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. But what if we're the villains on the other? We all pretend to be the heroes on the good side.
I'm glad you're doing fine, man. This is one of those fantastic interpretations of yeah, this is one of the most fantastic ones I absolutely adore. And I had to share this because this is one of those, if you like Chainsaw Man, this speaks volumes. So I'll be getting into what this is about now, but but I wanted to say, if you're looking to go into Chainsaw Man blind, please skip over this. It is a fantastic anime, and it is one of that I can very much understand somebody wanting to just go in blind and just enjoy the ride.
Pretend to
And let's see. Starting with, of course, Makima. I mean, let's be honest. If there is any major villain that anyone who deserves the villain title, Makima. Spoilers, and we're past the spoiler barrier, so I get to say, the Control Devil. She justifies villainy so much, and she does so in a fun way that she is so blatant about it the entire time. And you know there's something wrong with her. You know there's something not right. But you can't do anything or say anything about it because she does what she does so well.
be the heroes on
I mean,
the good side.
yeah. We'll get to power in a minute. Yeah, the eye of control, the scene is so good.
Oh, oh,
And of course, this is just the introduction of Puchita
so many shades of
and Denji.
oh, 어떻게 아직도 모를 수
Again, note that Denji is currently shirtless,
있어.
but representing that he is as simple as they come. He is about as shallow as a puddle in the middle of summer, and he is about as genuine. He is a genuine person. That is the thing. He has been forced to do not great things, but he is always given 110%. And here we get to see, again, Makima's here playing and planning. We get to see the guts of those who have been felled by her plans. But then, and like if you look at the blackboard, there's the actual image of Pochita drawn with, little hearts around it, because that is the origin of Chainsaw Man. Shinji, Power, yeah. Toilet, Robot, yeah. Boob, no. And the great way where Denji is, as simple and shallow as they come until he meets Makima, at which point he starts to have to grow and gain. And this is where her villainy begins.
I'm a villain.
And note that she doesn't, though it's a fruit in her hand, the only thing she gives Denji is the command to kill. And that's the blood she puts on his hands.
왜 아닐 거라 생각.
And here we get to see her basically just working and effectively being the idea of her dancing and making the puppets dance to her tune.
아주 못돼
And then we get, she does the little cat's claws, and then we get the cute image of her introducing Power into the story. Power, who's very arrogant but fun. She loves to mess with people. I love the expression here as she's pointing her finger at Power, going, "I'm going to kill you," which does happen. And then we have her, and our favorite cat shows up. And there's Power playing with them and trying to introduce Pochita and the cat, which goes about as well as any of those meetings that can ever really. And of course, Power kicks Denji, and he trips over poor Pochita. And of course, Ah, good boy.
Maybe you're killing
And of course, yeah, maybe I'm killing you, you're killing me.
someone. Maybe I'm killing you. Maybe you're killing me. Maybe.
And, Denji being forced to work around, but he's wipes the blood away only to reveal there might be something more going on.
Am I good?
And him questioning himself, am I good or bad?
Am I back?
But it doesn't matter to Denji. Again, he's about as shallow as a pond, and he's about as shallow as a puddle in summer. Whether he's good or bad doesn't matter. He likes Maki. He likes Makima, and that's enough.
Hey. Are you good? Are you back? Hey.
And I love that expression. He goes from hey, yeah,
내가 제일 사랑하는 누군가는
and her feeding him the bullets from the gun devil, which he eats up in a single bite without thinking about it. And all she can think of is he looks like a little puppy. Which is true. Which still holds up even now in the manga. Oy.
Are we good? Are we back?
And there we go. Because it's interesting that they chose the eyes they did, because Power never considers herself a bad person. Power considers herself the best person. And it's just like, so only the cat could consider, am I bad? No, doesn't matter. Power, I'm great. Doesn't matter.
Hey. What is good? What is bad?
And then Power just showing off and playing a dress up. Shallow as a blank piece of paper. That's a pretty good one.
네가 제일 미워하는 누군가
Yeah.
나는 사랑받는 누군가의 자식. I'm a villain.
And again, it's just showing off how Power just, no matter what, she considers herself the absolute best.
왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 아주 못돼 뭐 괜찮아.
Yeah. And no matter what, she loves her cat, and that's about all she needs. Yeah.
같은 나인 걸 몰라. You're a villain.
And then this last scene, Power's the one who's the cat, and the cat's her. Just a cute little swap scene, and it was just kind of funny.
You're a villain.
And now we get to see the dance Power does versus Makima's was far more reserved. Power's just goes wild and even pulls Denji into it.
미처 몰랐던 악마가 아니야. 내 숨 쉬고 있어.
And both of them are dangled on that piece of thread again, representing the control devil's absolute power over everyone.
Widow is easily recognized by her
And the unsubtle old description of a black widow describing Makima.
coal black body and red hourglass marking. She encases her victims with silk and then kills
Poor Kobeni. Oh, I will always feel for poor Kobeni. She tried so hard.
with poison.
I'm killing someone. Maybe
And she's asking Power for help, and Power's just like, can you do it? She's so pathetic.
you're killing someone. Maybe I'm
And yeah, everyone just kind of
killing you. Maybe
pay attention.
you're killing me.
And again, Makima just keeps feeding him more and more gun devil bullets,
Maybe we all
and drops it on the bell to ring.
pretend to be.
And here we see Denji's head on a platter,
Goes on there.
representing all the devils that rule hell, and Denji is just one more feast for them.
Good side, but what if we're the villains on the other?
Where,
We
each of the various dark devils, blood/power, just really good.
pretend to be the
But of course, Denji is so shallow, he just eats a piece of the fruit that that's on the plate that was garnishing for him.
Heroes on their good side, but
And just trusts Makima implicitly without any hesitation and just enjoys himself.
what if we're the villains on the other? We are.
And then we have that last scene where Makima reveals all the truth of the fact that she is a monster, but it doesn't matter. She's got him under her control, and that's what she's the villain.
We all pretend to be the heroes on the good side.
And yes, this video is not for commercial purposes and made to support and acknowledge the labor of the studio staff who work in original manga. Go support the originals, folks. Always go support the originals. Let's see. Yeah, from here, let's look through my liked videos. See if there's anything recently that hits. Okay. Okay, this is one that stuck with me being one of those people who... This is just funny for me my age.
Look, the test results don't lie. You're old. But I'm only 27. That's not old. All right, I'll run the test again. It's Saturday night at 10 p.m. What bar are you at? Oh, no, I'm usually in bed by then. Work has been so crazy. Oof, okay. It's the summer. Where are you? Probably one of my friend's weddings. I've got 9 of them this summer. And are you seeing these friends every weekend? We used to hang out every weekend, but now I either see them every 3 months or every week at our Volo softball game. Oh, my God. See? You're old. No, just give me one more. Your friend is pregnant. Aw, good for them. See? Any young person would have said, oh no. Oh my God.
There you go. There's you go. That's a good line and test of when do you know you're old? When that stuff starts happening. Let's see. Okay, sharing like things that were just kind of fun. This is one of my favorite. This is a pretty good one. If you've never played Majora's Mask, this won't mean much to you, but for anyone who has ever played the game Majora's Mask, the old Legend of Zelda on the N64, this song works way too well with how well they piece together the story of the game. Power is great.
dance in darkness, blow the nights off. Sleepy child, spark desire, walk the fire.
Yeah, this one is actually really great. Again, it's the whole thing of this game was fantastic. Majora's Mask was always a fantastic one. So each quote in line basically embodying a relative scene. The only thing I can honestly criticize on anyone who's taken the time to get the Fierce Deities mask, I don't think I ever got hit when I had the friggin' Fierce Deities mask. I can't think of a single time I ever really got hit. So, let's see. Actually, this one makes me think of another one. Zelda, who lives... Yeah, this one is one of my absolute favorites. Because I'm a musical fan. I don't know if you can tell. I love musicals. So, this is one of those. This is an excellent one, and crossing it over with The Legend of Zelda just made sense.
I was younger than you are now, when I was given my first command. I led my men straight into a massacre, witnessed their deaths firsthand. I made every mistake, and felt the shame rise in me. And even now I lie awake, knowing history has its eyes on me. History has its eyes on me. Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control who lives, who dies, who tells your story. I know that we can win. I know that greatness lies in you. But remember, from here on in, history has its eyes on you. History has its eyes on you.
Really excellent little tribute piece because as has been said in the past, I believe the Breath of the Wild series, the Breath of the Wild is the far end of the Zelda timeline and the end of the timeline. So, yeah, just a cool, nice little tribute I remember. One Piece. Okay, One Piece, world's smallest violin. Alright.
Grandpa fought in World War II. He was such a noble dude.
Hey, Garb.
I can't even finish school. Missed my mom and left too soon. His dad was a fireman who fought fire so violent. I think I bored my therapist while playing him my violin. Oh my God, that's so insane. That's such a shame. Next to them, my shit don't feel so grand. But I can't help myself from feeling bad. I kind of feel like two things can be said. The world's smallest violin really needs an audience. So if I do not find somebody soon, I'll blow up into smithereens. This feel my tiny symphony. Just let me play my violin for you, 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 you.
Okay. Right. Side note, actually, and it's really funny, and it's sad to think it's one of those things with the manga. One of the more recent arcs, we went through and we got Kuma's backstory. Kuma, the guy who kind of seemingly screwed over the Straw Hat crew, but was actually doing them a mercy. And it's so funny to think about now how we viewed Kuma as this unstoppable monster. And to see him now and realize that was honestly the last act of mercy he got before he truly became a monster. That is so cool. I really do love how much Oda has planned his story out so well.
My grandpa fought in World War II when he was such a noble dude. Man, I feel like such a fool. I got so much left to prove. All my friends are vaping friends. They're so good at making friends. I'm so scared of giving in. Is that entertaining yet? Oh my god, that's so insane. Oh my god, that's such a shame. Next to them, my shit don't feel so grand. But I can't help myself from feeling bad. I kind of feel like two things can be said. The world's smallest violin really needs an audience. So if I do not find somebody soon, I blow up into smithereens. This feel my tiny symphony. Just let me play my violin for you, yo, yo, yo. Somewhere in the universe, somewhere someone's got it worse. Wish that made it easier. Wish I didn't feel the hurt. The world's smallest violin really needs an audience. So if I do not find somebody soon, I'll blow up into smithereens and spew my tiny symphony all up and down a city street while trying to put my mind at ease, like finishing this melody. This feels like a necessity, so this could be the death of me, or maybe just a better me. Now come in with the Tiffany's and take a shot of Hennessy. I know I'm not there mentally, but you could be the remedy, so let me play my violin for you.
Bravo. That is a very excellent AMV that just... Yep. Yeah, there's so much about Kuma that is so cool. And many people are saying he's going to be the next one for the Straw Hat crew. He's still alive. It can happen. We may get Kuma on the crew. I won't say one way or the other. Though for me, a One Piece video I will always remember. Let's see if it's even still up. The Nature of Humanity. Yep. Ah, man. Holy crap. Somebody kept it up, and that's a re-upload, I believe. Yeah. So this isn't the original author. I think they took it down. Music. Yeah. Oh, no, it is. Okay. They just changed their name. And yeah, this guarantees this video is going to be demonetized. I don't get monetized anyway. So, this is going to be one of my favorites and sticks with me even years later. So, I hope you all enjoy.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. He's not one of the more popular saint names, but he is one of the saints, yes. He is one of the apostles, yes.
And gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die. And the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men. Machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate. Only the unloved hate. The unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery. Fight for liberty. Let us fight for a new world. A decent world that will give men a chance to work. That will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power. But they lie. They do not fulfill their promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
11 years, and that video still sits in the back of my head. Yeah. 11 years, and that video still sits in the back of my head. It makes me, chokes me up. But yeah, there are some AMVs that just are well done and just kind of hits. And that is an old one of mine, an old favorite. Trying to see what else was there. Well, that's okay. Getting back to the title, though, yeah, that video just always hits me hard. Needed a moment to breathe. So, let's go with something. One of the favorite artists, Skaroy here. And very fun, loves to have their OCs just paired together and have a lot of fun with them. And just like little animations, they're a lot of fun. So let's see. I mean, there's the classic.
Hush, 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 blush, blush, blush.
You are now my big fat crush.
I'm single as I can be. You're single, perfect for me. I'm gonna give you a bunch of reasons why you should date me. Reason number one, I'm super high. Reason number two, she's super nah. Reason number three, I'm all you got, and all you got is someone hot. Boy, check my resume. You want a background check? Okay. First name hot and last name bitch. Wanna get with me now? That's a sitch. You think I'm trash? Oh no, I'm class. And I got a big fat ass. And all I gotta say is, please date me because I'm single. S-I-N-G-L-E. Love me and hug me and touch me and, well, me.
Yeah. Something to take. Yeah. Just a lot of fun little. But of course, it can't always be like that simple and sweet. I mean, there's some. I love the memes they do because sometimes they get a little darker, and I always love it when a person can do something kind of dark.
I could give a fuck about what you think. Fuck it up. Now my diamonds flash just like a scene. Fuck it up. Little parts of me are turning cosmic death matching the star fields. Can you tell me how the dark feels? Give me that kitty cat, ain't talking Garfield. Baby blue moon boy, ain't talking Tar Heels. Now I think little parts of me are turning pink.
What it's like to date the yandere. Couldn't resist sharing that one because that will always just stick in my mind as one of those. That's a cute one. It's dark as fuck, but cute. Let's see. Any other fun ones? I mean, there's also chocolate lesbians. I put this, and before we go further, I do want to say, I put this video up on the level of what I would say, I guess the best way to put it, I view this video as someone having something they always wanted to do and getting a company to pay for it. When you don't realize something's just an advertisement and it is just having fun. Yeah, that is one of those I will enjoy, and honestly, I saw it blind and didn't know it was just a chocolate commercial. So when I did, I just went, "Oh, that's what it. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Let's see. Anything else interesting I've watched recently? Oh yeah, Ado is amazing. Oh, okay. Oh, actually, the other Chainsaw Man animation that stuck with me for a while, because A, I love the song, and B, well, this animation is absolutely amazing. Again, probably another, yeah, Flash Eye Strain can be a big thing. Again, the usual warnings of, if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, you might look away or at least just unfocus your eyes a little and you probably will be alright. Oh man. And all I can say is this song is way too appropriate for the Chainsaw Man series because my god, does it only get worse. ah. Let's see. let's see. If you're familiar with Amori, that is actually fantastic. My whole family thinks I'm gay.
Every time I go to dinner, seems like I'm getting a little bit thinner. I'll sit down at the breakfast table. I can talk, they're not able. When I look at them, I find there's a single question on their mind. I wish it could go back to the way it was. It's not easy now because my whole family thinks I'm gay. I guess it's always been that way. Maybe it's 'cause of the way that I walk. Makes them think I like boys. The goddamn question just won't go away. And I get asked every single day, but the way they ask it is not a disguise. Like, how was your day? Do you like to kiss guys? That's funny. This is the worst, baby. This was my fear. Now their opinions are crystal clear because
I love this. We don't care who you like. We don't care who you like. We all love you the way you are. Hero, of course, being the supportive one. The rational, supportive one. Of course, the... Basil going, I'm bi too, so don't worry about it. Sonny, we're all queer.
because my whole family now is shocked. I'm in the closet and the door is locked.
His own phantom sitting there going, you're gay. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are.
My glory days are gone. I was John Elway, now I'm Elton John. And my whole family now suspects that watching SpongeBob had side effects. I'm not gay, and that's what I said. If I'm gay, hey God, strike me dead.
The in-jokes are good.
I'm afraid of the snow, or my favorite color is the rainbow. I don't mean to yell, but I fear I must, because I'm losing the people that I thought I could trust, because even my boyfriend thinks I'm gay.
Sonny, we've been dating for 6 months. Kel being the open one.
Motherfucker.
If you've played the game Omori, this is absolutely hilarious, and all I can ever say is that is so funny to watch. Of course, the next one is one I absolutely adore. They do a great job with animation, and if you've never heard of the game Ultra Kill, go look it up. Just go look it up. It is a speed, it is a pure sense of adrenaline distilled into a video game. And the fact that this isn't basically a developed intro for the game for a particular boss fight.
Gluttony soon to follow. Your kind know nothing but hunger, purged all life on the upper layers, and yet they remain unsatiated. As to you, you've taken everything from me, machine, and now all that remains is perfect hatred.
A friend of mine got pregnant. The doctor was pissed. Oh, that's always unfortunate. Oh, good grief. Yeah, no, that can be frustrating, absolutely. It's like, don't. I get you're old enough and you're allowed to. Don't. For your own life, it's better not to.
Machine, I will cut you
apostate of hate, Gabriel. Yeah. Though there are some people that mature better for other people. So, hope that they're one of those types of people. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they develop more and for someone else's sake. So maybe for their child, they'll grow up, so to speak. I don't know. There's never a clear thing with that, so all I can do is hope it works out for them. Or at least then they have the presence of mind to put the child's needs before their own. That might be the best way to put it. Alright, so we've looked through a couple of my likes. Let's see if anybody's uploaded anything particularly interesting. Because I'm subscribed to a lot of people, so hopefully we can find something. All Things D&D is actually a pretty good one. Though if I was to ever suggest anything, the All Guardsmen Party. This is, just sit back and listen to some of this. This is some of the most hilarious. Like, if you like D&D and role-playing stories, this is one of the most hilarious. Allegorist. One of my absolute favorite AMV makers. I'm still subscribed to them, and they haven't made one in 5 years. But every one they made was fantastic. Like, let's see. One of my absolute favorites. I mean, then again, I love Gankutsuo. For those who don't know, Gankutsuo was an anime that was basically the story of the Count of Monte Cristo done as a sci-fi setting. It is one of the absolutely most stylish animes ever created, and this is using a fantastic song by Panic at the Disco. Yep. That just works so well.
Melted back to life. Done my time and served my sentence. Dress me up and watch me die. If it feels good, tastes good, it must be mine. Dynasty decapitated, you just might see a ghost tonight. And if you don't know now, you know. I'm taking back the crown. I'm all dressed up and naked. I see what's mine and take it. Sycophants on velvet sofas, lavish mansions, vintage wine. I am so much more than royal. Snatch your chain and mace your eyes. If it feels good, tastes good, it must be mine. Heroes always get remembered, but you know legends never die. And if don't know, now you know. I'm taking back the crown. I'm all dressed up and naked. I see what's mine and take it. Oh yeah, the crown. So close I can taste it. I see what's mine and take it. Oh yeah. Mortal kings are ruling castles. Welcome to my world of fun. Liars settle into sockets. Flip the switch and watch them run.
Oh, that's always sad. Well, I simply hope they end up finding some happiness. And that's about all I can really say about it. I feel for him. Because there's so many ways to make life harder on yourself. And that is absolutely one that can be undo. You can't undo. So, let's see. Angry Thomas. Oh. I'm America. Anna Patsu. Just going down the list. Bear Taffy. Basically, really fun character too. This guy is basically just someone who makes quick videos.
Hi, here's what your favorite villager in Animal Crossing says about
He's not kidding. He's done this for 25 parts.
you. You did not suggest a villager named Big Top to me 25 episodes into this series and expect me to call you anything but a submissive homosexual. Grow up. I'm not going to kink shame. I'm going to encourage you to unpack this with a licensed professional. Listen, don't be a bully. Bullying is bad. But sometimes it's okay to look in the mirror and say, what is the thing in me that is getting bullied? What can I improve? You know when you look at something and you just know that lesbians are obsessed with it? I mean, you're gay, but also, is this a slur in the Animal Crossing world? In this video essay, another one for my loud freaks out there. My sentiments go out to every movie theater you've ever been to. I mean, I get it. And also, if you look like this, my DMs are wide open. Really get better tasting on the floor. This is literally just what every SoundCloud rapper looks like. You can quote any Drag Race episode. You know every Real Housewife. You have at least one substance abuse problem. Prison. What the hell else was I gonna say? Hi, here's what your favorite villager in Animal Crossing says about you.
Yeah. But yeah, he's gone through and like Animal Crossing villagers. The what was it?
Hi, it's Pride Month, so here's the gayest character selections you can make in Mario Kart. First off, canonically trans, so bonus points. Second of all, you see true beauty for what it really is. A mouth that will not quit. The poster child for nosy gays. The person that picks this character probably says that they want a wholesome, meaningful relationship, but then you check their Instagram DMs and then you realize that you are a lot more of a prude than you thought. The gay standard. This woman has been a friend of gays since 1983 when it wasn't popular. If you loved Princess Diana, you will love her. The U-Haul lesbian of this universe. People who pick this character in Mario Kart tend to have a proclivity for being stepped on. Rosalina is for the gay men that are secretly good at video games. They pretend that they're bad at them, but then their straight friend hands them a controller, and then they're like, dear, I don't know what I'm doing, and then they annihilate them. The best friend of the ADHD gay who loves watching the Subway Surfer videos that are like sensory overload with all the other videos going on around it. This one's also my favorite. This one is for the Kurt Hummel of their friend groups. If a purse isn't falling out of your mouth when you speak, you haven't earned Rose Gold Peach. Wendy's popularity is backed by the same energy that makes Wendy Williams popular. This girl is camp, and she will tell you if you're ugly. Hi, it's Pride Month, so here's the gayest character.
But yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's amusing if nothing else. Born Losers Gaming. Brain Scratch comes. the standard of unprofessional Let's Plays. That's... they have fun doing it, so... There's a thing about unprofessionalism that allows you a flexibility to respond and do what you really enjoy. Cammy Cat, one of our absolute favorite singers. Like, she's just fun, wholesome, and a lot of fun to listen to, and is a fantastic singer. Where is it? There's that, but where is it? Oh, I scrolled past it. Stormbreaker. Like, this is a standard to me of a sign of a fantastic musician.
Many stories have been told about a mighty crew, one that claims so many honest souls and ripped poor towns in two. Not a soul alive could sail in peace as the storm roamed the sea. When thunder rose and lightning flared, you knew that you would never be free. As the prideful people stood together against a tyrant's power, the storm descended on them and attempted to devour all their sons and fathers, moms and daughters, till nothing remained. As their land began to blossom, they heard cries among the rain. Their shouts carried on the wind. The smoke rose from hell within. Their hope taken there and then. The ones who said they'd ensure their safety had left them all for dead. When the crew prepared to take the town, collect a kinsman share, the seas began to quiver and a chill came in the air. The ship began to shiver, then the clouds began to part, as if the gods above replied they would no longer seal their hearts. A whirlpool summoned by the will of a warrior, a treasure returning to settle her own score. Then down from a blinding white pillar shining bright came forth the giant sword and a bloody man to fight. And her
I can't speak words to how good feels to have somebody who can do a fantastic story and put that much passion and energy into it. All in all, I absolutely love, always have, always will. Cammy Cat is one of the fantastic singers, and I'm there for everything she decides to do. It doesn't hurt that she also worked with Joe Cat to do a very awesome story of D&D run. If you do go back, look through Joe Cat's channel, which we'll get to down the line. That's absolutely a fantastic playthrough of D&D. That just fantastic overall. Captain Pophams, old Let's Player. Like 6 years ago was the last video he put up. Sifid. Okay, this is a channel I will give you folks for free. It's not being updated anymore as far as I'm aware. Yeah, last videos are 7 years ago. But if you are familiar with the Toho series, where there are amazing musics and amazing music and songs, these are metal renditions of so many amazing ones. Like, I can pick just about randomly, and you can guarantee to get some amazing metal. I have seen that before. Yeah, no, that is a really nice one. The Wii Shop mix. Let's see. Chilluminati, Chugga, Clement, the Great Clement. No longer does any major playing throughs, but still offers some fun videos. Crash Landing. Cyanimations, very interesting artist who tends to make, I think they mostly make videos as their own sort of like therapy, and they do amazing works, and they do create some amazing stuff. They tend to focus on their own set of OCs again. And just, it's their outlet, and it works amazing for what it is. Sometimes they cover, and they do they cover a lot of different varieties.
That's two in the last 4 days. This killer has fancy ways. To kill outside St. Paul's requires a lot of balls. He hates the upper class. He must be on his ass. Who could he be? Now look at me.
What a shame you check the closet. I hear there's a lot of gossip. Although it didn't
Read about the worst two murders. Much worse than the first two murders. And makes it murders 3 and 4.
They burn in dear old Betty, and we're extremely messy, and poor old Archie is no more.
That's 4 in the last 8 days. It's London's latest craze.
This time he was in Park Lane.
And he may come back again. Until the killer's found. There's danger all around.
What can we do?
We wish we knew. Murder, once is one done. Murder, murder, can't be undone. Murder, murder, lives in London. Bloody murder in the north.
Sweet death has taken this brave
Wonky looking church. Forgot they did that.
friends, take what comfort that you can from us.
General Glossop, I'm happy to inform you that you are relieved of your duties, sir. All of them. Look at this, another murder, just like that other murder. That poor old General Glossop, dead.
Last week that bishop copped it. That bloke that done it hopped it. That fella must be off his head.
That's 2 in the last 4 days. This killer has fancy ways.
To kill outside St. Paul's requires a lot of balls.
He hates the upper class. He must be on his ass. Who could he be?
Don't look at me.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and they do a lot of amazing animations for various musicals as well as their own original stuff, and just overall really cool. I'm of course a huge musical fan, so that's music just kind of hits for me. Daria Cohen, if you're familiar with uh, the famed series of the Vampire series, Vampire. Let's see, Death Evan. For very chill, laid-back, kind of silly playthroughs, this is also the only guy. I'll put it this way: this is the only person I've ever seen play Subnautica and get out of the thing to punch enemies. Like, there's enemies who teleport you and mess with you, giant squids. He's the only person to grab the knife and jump out of the pod to punch them. I love watching this guy. He will always be one of my favorites. One of the oldest of the old in Let's Players, deceased Crab, been around forever. Never been standout popular, but he keeps chugging along, and he does really well. Dingo Doodles, we've talked about her before, but she is the creator of the Fool's Gold campaign videos that are absolutely amazing. If you get the chance and you like D&D stories, this is a must. Dissolution Plays. Three best friends who are voice actors playing through like the Danganronpa, Phoenix Wright, and Ace Attorney series just to play around with the voices and have fun. I cannot stress enough how good they are at it. It's a ride. They have fun with it. If you're just looking for something to listen to while you do something else and just listen to friends have fun, this is a must. This is a fantastic one. Evan MC Gaving, basically creating very detailed stories of originally the Dream SMP. I don't know if he'll be going on other things, but he makes these very detailed, very well produced videos. So I can very much suggest him. Let's see. Falcom. If you like that metal we heard earlier, this guy makes symphonic metal of renditions of various famous songs. Just overall, really well done. Tends to get on streaks of particular music, but like then he'll do stuff like the Rocky theme as an epic metal. So yeah, in all truth, check him out. Very awesome. Speaking of Minecraft, though, if you're interested, Fundy here is a programmer who plays around with the rules of Minecraft and plays with the game and modifies it. So it can be pretty kind of amusing to have. Let's see, anything else? Oh, here we go. Human. Traditional Japanese versions of famous songs, and just overall really awesome. All the music goes hard. Just trying to think of one. I mean, just about any of them. Just trying to see if remember what he's done to see if there's any particular. Okay, yeah, the only thing I know for real. Again, I think he had the English videos. I think he had the English. That was the Japanese. Oh, I thought he had the English vocal one. Oh well. But yeah, all sorts of music covered in traditional Japanese style. Kind of interesting and unique. Okay, this is one of those I can't really suggest for anyone, but I have to at least give them respect. This is Inkpots, who are bronies who made covered music from various musicals using, using the My Little Ponies, and it's interesting to see the way they go.
Suspicious! Jealousy! Anger! Betrayal! Where love is for the highest bidder, there can be no trust. Without trust, there is no love! Jealousy! Yes, jealousy! Will drive you mad! Roxanne! You don't have to put on that red light.
And yes, this is unfinished, but you can see the potential. The facial expressions, the body language.
You don't have to wear that dress tonight, Roxanne. You don't have to sell your body to the night. His eyes upon your face, his hand upon your hand, his lips caress your skin. It's more than I can stand.
Want me to leave me, but just don't deceive me and breathe. Believe me when I say I love you. You can see all the potential and all the detail work that would go into it and could be. It may never get finished. We may never see the final product. But sometimes even the rough ones that leaves you imagining. And him finally adding into it at the end. Her unable to watch the final blow being delivered. Yeah. Just absolutely potentially. Even if it never comes to pass to be completed, still the rough version is enough to make me smile. And that will always be something I can applaud, is a person who can put so much on the line and make it unique. And take something that is, like My Little Pony, add this to it, and make it into something completely different. If you want a sign of somebody who's just absolutely talented, dripping with musical talent, Insane in the Rain music, just look this guy up. If you like jazz music in the slightest, this guy is fantastic. Speaking of the Wii Channel theme, actually from earlier. Yeah. The guy is friggin' amazing talented. Again, and that's him just playing the Wii Channel music. Just go look him up, listen to some of his stuff, and start adding it to your playlist. And just add him into shuffle so you get something fun every now and then. Let's see. Jenny. Let's see. Jesse Cox. One of those longtime game reviewers. Scary Game Squad, one of the things that just him and a bunch of his buddies playing games, and it's worth a laugh. Jim Sterling. Joe Cat. Oh God, Joe Cat. I get that they've had some rough times, and losing Joe Cat as a creator for YouTube is always going to sting. But I will say this. The content they have created holds up the stand of time. Huh. I never saw that. Psycho My Little Pony animatic with music. Before I go, though, before I leave his channel, I will say Joe Cat has had some rough times, but the community has spoken out in complete support, and he is a sweetheart and a fantastic human being and deserved more love. If you ever get the chance, his Belkinus Necro Hunt. If you like D&D and listening to D&D gameplays, is one of the most fun, emotional rides with characters that are well designed. Overall, I cannot say it enough. That is one of the most fun. Let's see. Psycho. You'll have to, I can imagine, though. I can very much imagine someone doing that. imagine. Maybe this one?
Running home, I laugh alone. At least I stole the show. Wanna do stupid shit, gotta end it. I'm a hypocrite, I like it when I'm being on the side of it. I'm a psycho, loving it. Wanna do stupid shit, gotta end it. I'm a hypocrite.
Shed. Oh, Shed. 12 years. Okay. Yeah, that is pretty old. Let's see. Jorwell, just specifically for the Toho series. Jubiphonic. Fantastic singer. Has a lot of fun. Justine's Mic, very classic style music. Ken Ashcorp. One of those people who doesn't upload much and rarely does, but and rarely uploads, but every song is so unique that I can't help but want to share them. So, for example,
there's a legend that's sung in Rhode Island, told to children with faces aglee, about a hero, an absolute madman, who bombed the shit out of that company. No more Lotus or Power 9 bullshit. Those pedophiles knew it was nigh. That man got on a plane in Toronto, got an AK or 4 and prepared to say hi. Adam Worski, axe-wielding maniac. Hasbro, you fuckers, we pray for your soul. Adam Worski, get in, no way with it. Touch that boy's hole and you'll pay Adam's toll. He enlisted the help of some dear friends, the time-traveling demon Sam Hyde, and they vowed to eradicate Hasbro. They crashed the plane, kicked the door, went inside. There was blood on the ceiling, screams echoed for miles as Adam lay waste to his claim. They rescued the boys and the girls who were slaves, and every last one of them chanted his name. Adam Worski, Hitler on steroids, enacting upon magic his genocide. Adam Worski, hero of Canada. We laughed and we laughed at how many had died. Adam Worski, doing it for free. He'll never stop on his valiant quest. Adam Worski, it might be a pseudonym. Touch that girl's chest and he'll strap on a suicide vest. Oh yes. Adam Worski, murderous psychopath. Cash all your checks, 'cause he's coming for Hollywood next.
yeah, none of loving anyone who can just go off like that is always welcome. But then he's got fantastic to show the range.
like waterfalls. I wanna give some color back to your cheeks. Fingers intertwined. And as you tell me you can't take it anymore, let our hearts and souls combine. Well, hell is knocking at our door.
But yeah, just very soft, very beautiful. And then what else he's doing to be absolutely fucking off the wall. And since this is the title of the stream, I have to play it.
She was
The image of my fantasies, yeah.
Long hair, purple eyes, and two big pointy ears, the dwarven nails on me. Maybe you as well, girl, hopefully. Now I didn't expect what I heard next. Made my head spin so fast, did a breakneck. She said,
Hey bitch, what's up? You're the kind of girl that could give me the good long suck, and I don't need first name basis. Maybe we could pass it to each other on the third and fourth bases.
well, what the hell? She got my mind fucked like Galadriel.
And I can see that we're thirsty. Call it intuition, but it ain't just our glasses that's sturdy.
And I was bridal carried upstairs, and I was thinking about asking it for 3 hairs, yeah. So here's a little secret to this.
Elves are quick to recognize looseness. We're shameless. Won't much love it all. You guys think we're kinda crass, but baby, you can kiss my ass. We're shameless. It's joining too.
That's right.
I delight in being lewd.
Okay, settle down. I don't even know your name. Okay, that's a lovely name. My name's Kalina. That's also a
Lovely name. Wait, when did you get here? Renee and Kalina. You ain't have to explain that. You know exactly what you're doing. But how far ahead did you plan all the screwing?
Cut that pussy shit, get up on that pussy, bitch. Call me mistress like you know that you're working it.
Yes, miss.
Put the collar on impulse, 1 bitch boy and 2 elf hoes.
Well,
What the hell? We got this far, so we might as well.
and things were getting kinda kinky. Essentially the content of a Henkama Dojinshi. Imagine the scene, 3 bodies all together, me in between, yeah. Pressing up against my body.
Hold up.
That's a little bigger than I was expecting. Which one of us are you using that on?
We're shameless. I love it all. You might think I'm kinda crass, but baby, you can kiss my ass. We're shameless. Stacy Smug can join in too. You gotta love those MILFs, man. I delight in being lewd. If you're into it, just be into it. We don't kink shame, no. We don't kink shame, no. We don't kink shame, no. If you're into it, just be into it. We don't kink shame, no. We don't kink shame.
No, we don't kink shame. No, it's a window in. Yep, being right.
I won't say I'm sorry for liking lewd elf girls and
You ready to go again, kiddo?
Yes, indeed I am.
Oh boy.
Fucking love this song. And with the name of the stream, I had to at least look that up. Because, let's be honest. I mean, end of the day, it's the way I always view things. I enjoy, like, I won't pull up my Twitter feed, but I enjoy sex and sexuality. I love to discuss sex and sexuality. I love the ideas presented, the feelings, what makes something attractive to one person but not to another. It's always been kind of interesting. But so many people become just so numb or so sensitive that they can't discuss it openly. And I would love to hear you go at some point, local Jupiter. I'll have to look it up and see if I can get some idea of what your particular is. What your particular works are. I wish I could claim I was a voice actor. I'm not. I don't think I've got the range to be one. Let's see. Kikaskia, if you like Let's Plays of like older games. Like laid back, chill guy, very fun. KZ Excellent. He represents a group of stoner friends that have way too much fun just fucking around. I can give you a sample.
In that film for lore, where someone tries to buy something and they're like, that only gets you.
So. Just a bunch of friends playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, man. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Happy birthday, Jordan.
Me mini weeks. Alright. First we get the 5 easy questions.
Oh, I don't like how that model animates.
Which event helped to spark off the American Revolution?
That would be the Boston Tea Party.
How about the Boston baby shower?
I almost said that.
The Boston coffee morning? The Boston white
gin- Boston gender reveal.
No more hesitating. I'm gonna
But yeah. Yeah, him and a bunch of his buddies just sitting around playing games, having a good time. If you love that idea and you just want something to put on in the background, that can be worth it. Lemouls. An animator who has way too much fun just animating whatever the hell they want. Let's see. Yeah, and just animating whatever they feel like.
I've got no hand! Oh, wait, only Philza can play. Hey, Tommy, you want to use mine?
Oh, wait, can you give me a hand? Well, can you just bash on my neck until I grow a head? I need to go through puberty once again.
When I hit left click, nothing happens.
Just what? It's just a leg!
I can't, I don't want to live in this
I'm
world.
No.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm here to make a sacrifice.
No, Will, please.
No. It's for you, Phil.
Oh, yeah?
Chant with me, Phil.
Go chant.
Ulam baba, ulam baba,
Ulam baba, ulam baba, ulam baba.
I'm so glad we're sharing this body now. This is weird. Let's think about something together.
Let's try and match our thoughts and say it on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. I want legs again.
Afghanistan.
Okay, that's worrying.
Okay.
Ulam baba, ulam baba, ulam baba.
I am your king.
Hello.
Listen to me.
King.
I know you are a lower being just legs. Once there was a great monster called the Kenbalesh. The Kenbalesh ravaged the head nation.
Yeah?
Would you like another story?
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah?
I've been thinking about life in general.
Yeah? And I was like, baby, 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 like baby, 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 no.
I have Google right now. I'm how to beat an ostrich. Use a long weapon. Keep to the ostrich's side. Consider yourself at the most risk when the two of you are face to face. Stay behind or to the side of the bird as much as possible to keep clear of its most powerful weapon. Aim for the neck. Strike it where it is most vulnerable and least protected to defeat it quickly.
Hey, Wilbur, look through my chest. What do you see?
I see nobody.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. So that's an artist too. If you're looking for some cheap laughs, well animated. Speaking of cheap laughs, last week tonight, which is just kind of picks at life and in a very hilarious way. So I can always suggest that, but that is also professionally produced, so you know you can expect a certain level of standards there. The Scuff Queen herself, Lee and Lai Amelie. Singer turned voice actor turned just the tech making things work does not help her. We'll put it that way. Let's see. More singers: Lalia, Liz Robinette, Luca Jen playing games. The wife of Proton John, Lydia the Bard. Oh God, one of my absolute favorite singers recently. Her most recent one, Fall Little Wendy Bird, where it's a part of a series where she turns the Disney princesses into villains, and are absolutely fantastic. The one that always sticks with me is let's see, Mirabelle from Encanto's villain song.
We don't talk about Bruno, no. We don't talk about Bruno.
When she's just fed up with everything.
You made him walk away. He left himself, or so you say, but I've heard another take. You hide in your storm and close off from the rain, but don't see the damage in your wake. From Bruno, then you turn on me. You whisper as if I don't see the fear, the dread of what I'll be. But we don't talk about Bruno, no. We don't talk about Bruno. Every sound you heard, but your silence was deafening. It's decimal, despicable to save yourself from meddling, or maybe you're just scared to make a sound at all. Don't stand around the border, risk going overboard. Let the others drown, but you reach to pull them back ashore. Now the boat's sinking and everyone's going down. A constant sign of all that you lack. She's a curse, she's to blame. So quick, turn your back. Well, I'm done playing nice, so baby, think twice when you don't talk about Bruno. No. We don't talk about Bruno. Flowers bloom when you walk in a room, but I see all the thorns that you hide. Poison rose, you might think no one knows, but I see right through your disguise. I suffered all this heartache, I sacrificed for your sake as you ruled and you reigned from above. Well, now my pain is ending, I'm done with this pretending, finally free from chasing your love, free from your love. Time to bring this family down. Get out the villain in your very down now. The sun's run out and there's just you and me. How's it feel to see your family dead? I claim all that I've lost. Do you understand what your apathy cost? It's your end of days and I'll still hear you say, we don't talk about Bruno, no. Should have talked about Bruno.
Amazingly done, well produced, the great feeling of twisting what a character goes through to make them the central villain, and why they can just go off the deep end of, fuck this is not worth it. I absolutely adore this song. The other one that they've done recently that sent a lot of shockwaves through people is the Tinkerbell one, turning Tinkerbell into the main antagonist. Or at least... And this is such of a cool way to do it.
Little girl, you've no idea what you've got yourself into. Fly for a night and think the world's made for you. Well, I tried too hard to see all of my work come undone. Better grow some wings real fast. I see the way they look at you with tears in their eyes. Soon they'll start to dream of different lives. Well, I won't let you tempt them. They have mine to protect. No use reminding them of the past. You don't seem to quite understand what is at stake. This messed up little family that I had to make. If I could let them all go home, please know that I would. But it'd do more harm than good. So why don't you fall? Fall, little Wendy bird, fall. Why don't you fall? Fall, little Wendy bird, fall. Swear it's nothing personal, it's a necessary evil. Why don't you fall? Fall, little Wendy bird, fall. Some would say I'm quick to rage and maybe they're right, but I can say for once I'm thinking clearly tonight. Wendy, darling, you have hit the wrong girl to fight. I will protect what is mine. A nasty little spark that must be smothered, snuffed out. Setting fires inside my house is just not allowed. If ended air and embers is what I must do, then darling, I'll be coming for you. So why don't you fall? Fall, little Wendy bird, fall. Why don't you fall? Fall, little Wendy bird, fall. Swear it's nothing personal, it's a necessary evil. Why don't you fall? Fall, little Wendy bird, fall. Why don't you fall? Fall, little Wendy bird, fall. Or did it slip your mind? You need three things to fly. Let's see you try when I remove mine. Why don't you fall? Fall, little Wendy bird, fall. I'm gonna clip your wings, cut your strings, baby, you won't feel a thing now that you're feeling tall. Why don't you fall?
And for those curious, one of the biggest things with that is the basics tenet is Tinkerbell figured out that the lifespan of a fairy is from their child's first laugh to when they stop believing in fairies. So basically the idea is she kidnapped the Lost Boys and Peter to keep herself and the other fairies alive. And she knew that Wendy would draw Peter out to want to explore the rest of the world. And that's a direct threat to her lifespan. Meaning that she would do anything to prevent it. And we see how she does. Eventually just stripping their ability to fly, stopping everyone, and letting Wendy fall back to the earth. It's fantastic, it's dark, and it works so well. But yeah, Lydia is fantastic. Another one of my favorites, Lyric Alive. Make basically English versions of these songs from the Toho series. They add lyrics to them. And they've been doing this for a long time, and there's a lot of very innocent and very interesting versions. I'm just looking for one of my favorites, because the lyrics are just so well done. Let's see. Reverse Ideology. This is written so well, I will always love these lyrics.
Tell me your dreams and I'll show you your nightmares. Need to stop and don't start it again. It's what I know you think, or what you think you know. You've got the whole world wrong, I got the proof to show. The lie is in the truth is in the lie. I'll turn it all around, don't need a reason why. Your blessings are my curses are your gifts. And with a simple twist, I've got a compliment. My curses are my gift, your blessings are your curse. Take a familiar tune and put it in reverse. Tell me your dreams and I'll show you. That's my philosophy. Tell me to stop and I'll start. Reverse ideology. So I was last at first, so I am first at last. I'll take your rotten rules and leave them in the past. If I can laugh the last, then I can be the first. The more you win, you lose. Go on and do your worst. How can you realize? I'll realize you can. Your cards are suited for a very different man. You say to me, play fair. I say it's all their plan. You say impossible, but I can find a way. Find my way out when I'm caught in a pinch. 'Cause the stage has been set for a while. Just give me a trigger, just give me an inch, and I'll ride to the top on a mile. The way you reject is the way that I choose, since I know it'll drive you insane. Unlike all of you, I've got nothing to lose and a whole world of difference to gain. There's no room for compromise, only one choice, revolution 180 degrees. The beggars will rise with the governing voice, and the strongest will drop to their knees. No more subjecting the weak and the small, let the hierarchy rearrange. The bigger you are, well, the harder you fall. Hit the ground, feel the sound of change.
Such excellently written lyrics. Just absolutely always stick with me. Let's see. Massey, if you're looking for wholesome streams for wholesome YouTube playthroughs. What was Mazu? The animator who stole a lot of love and beauty and did a fantastic job. -T makes incredible 3D animations for the Toho games, where bullet hells and just in general just really impressive choice of music. Monster Cat is just a music service for swing and, electric music. Really awesome one. Mother's Basement is you're looking for advice or looking for recommendations on anime. That's always a fun one. Let's see. Just seeing if there's anything else particular. Because I'm starting to get sleepy, so I think we're going to wrap it up. So we'll end it on, for tonight anyway, Rambo. This is a fantastic animator. And yeah. We'll do one of my favorite musicals of all time, Hades Town.
Why the struggle, why the strain? Why make trouble, why make
feel free to send me a link to that Discord. I'm always happy to help with spread anime.
What is it?
Well, the good news is he said that you can go.
He did?
He did? He did. There's bad news, though.
What is it?
You can walk, but it won't be like you planned.
What do you mean?
Why not?
Well, you won't be hand in hand. You won't be arm in arm, side by side, and all of that. He said you have to walk in front, and she has to walk in back.
Why?
And if you turn around to make sure she's coming too, then she goes back to Hades Town, and ain't nothing you can do.
But why?
Why build walls? Make folks walk single file. Divide and conquer's what it's called.
It's a trap.
It's a trial. Do you trust each other? Do you trust yourselves?
We do.
Well, listen, brother. If you want to walk out of hell, you're gonna have to prove it before gods and men. Can you do that?
We can.
Aight, time to go.
Mr. Hermes,
Yes.
it's not a trick.
No. It's a test.
Wait for me, I'm coming. Wait, I'm coming with you. Wait for me, I'm coming too. I'm coming.
Show the way so we can see. Show the way the world could be. If you can do it, so can she. If she can do it, so can we. Show the way. Show the way the world could be. Show the way so we believe. We will follow where you lead. We will follow with you. Show the way.
I'm coming, wait for me. I hear the walls repeating, the falling of our feet, and it sounds like drumming. And we are not alone. I hear the rocks and stones echoing our song. I'm coming.
But this is Hades Town. This story doesn't have a happy ending. This animation is so good. Almost there.
Who am I? Who am I against him? Who am I? Why would he let me win? Why would he let her go? Who am I to think that he wouldn't deceive me just to make me leave alone? Doubt comes in. Is this a trap that's being laid for me? Doubt comes in. Is this a trick that's being played on me? Doubt comes in. I used to see the way the world can be, but now the way it is all I see. And where is she? Where is she now?
Orpheus, you are not alone. I'm right behind you, and I have been all along. At the darkest hour of the darkest night comes right before.
He looked back.
It's you.
It's me. Orpheus.
Eurydice.
And she's pulled back. And Orpheus dies alone and miserable. Oh, this is an amazing. Everything from them, from Rambo, is absolutely amazing. And the Hadestown musical is fantastic. I haven't seen this. Okay. Sorry, folks. I was going to stop, but I'm kind of curious to see how this... Oh, yeah.
Step in my office. I don't know about you boys, but if you're like me, then hanging around this old manhole is bringing you down. 6 feet under, getting under your skin. Cabin fever is a setting in. You're stir crazy, stuck in a rut. You could use a little pick me up. I can give you what it is you crave. A little something from the good old days. I got the wind right here in a jar. I got the rain on tap at the bar. I got sunshine up on a shelf. Allow me to introduce myself. Brother, what's my name? My name is Our Lady of the Underground. Brother, what's my name? Our Lady of Waves, Our Lady of Green. Brother, what's my name? My name is Our Lady of the Upside Down. Wanna know my name? I tell you my name. Persephone. Come here, brother. Let me guess. It's the little things you miss. Spring flowers, autumn leaves. Ask me, brother, and you shall receive. you saw the sky. Wipe away your tears, brother. Brother, I know how you feel. I can see you're blinded by the sadness of it all. But look a little closer and everything will be revealed. Look a little closer and there's a crack in the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Dry on the trombone, Marika Hughes on the cello, Dana Lynn on the violin, Ben Borowski on the drums, Robinson Morse on the bass, Michael Chorney on the guitar, and Liam Robinson on the keys. You want stars? I got a sky full. Put a quarter in the slot, you'll get an eyeful. You want the moon? Yeah, I got her too. She's right here waiting in my pay-per-view. How long's it been? Little moonshine ain't no sin. Tell my husband to take his time. What the boss don't know, the boss won't mind.
Ah, that was really good. Yeah, this is what I tend to do when I get tired, is I'll just sit there and watch so many of the animatics and animations. I love music. So for me, musicals are absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I think we'll leave it here for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all for joining me on just, I don't know, binging whatever the hell I felt like. I hope you all have gotten to enjoy, and I hope you all found something you got to. Anyway, folks, thank you all, and I'll see you next time on this, or maybe